The next duelist that we have on our list to talk about is the highly anticipated Magik. Now, Magik is in a good spot. She's been in a good spot for a decent amount of time. She just has a lot of technicality in her kit that you have to be very familiar with how it works in order to get the most mileage out of her. And she has a lot of very good representation in her abilities, canonically, of what she is able to do. So it's been interesting to think about things that could be done to change or alter her in a way that is faithful to her character and her character design. But I do have a thought as to what that could be. As you can see here, she has a very lengthy list of abilities. In reality, the overview here just has 3 different things, but then they're broken down into subsections. So you have the innate ability of her mutation, granting her interdimensional teleportation and time travel, which the latter of those 2 isn't really represented within the game and the build. But of course, she has the Eldritch Armor that provides her with additional defenses. She has the Soul Sword, which allows her to do a variety of different things: protection and shield spells, energy manipulation, matter manipulation, astral projection, exorcism, limbo control, summoning, scrying, binding, and then psionic shields. And that lengthy list there towards the end, most of that is very clearly implemented within her current build, with the overhealth that she gets for using her abilities and landing attacks on her opponents, to being able to use various different energy effects with her cross slash and other things of that nature. So the thing that I really want to hone in on is that time travel ability. Now, as we can see from her list of abilities, she does have a lot, but a fair number of that is linked to whether or not she has used a stepping disc, as she has multiple abilities bound to the same keybind based off of a limited state that she goes into after using those. But she does have the F keybind available for another ability to be added. And as I said, she doesn't have an ability in her kit presently that really personifies the time travel ability. And initially, she did have a team up where she gave Black Panther the ability to rewind, but has never really had that ability herself. And I think that's one of the best methods to incorporate time travel into the game, mainly because it's really hard to go forward in time, but going backward in time is something that you can do within a certain amount of leniency. And yes, that would make her a lot more survivable than she is currently, but stranger things have happened. And I think you could probably balance that out by having her reset her baseline health when she uses that time travel ability, but she does so at the cost of any of her overhealth that's granted to her from her other abilities and landing attacks on those opponents. Because if you could go from being at 50 health with 100 overhealth to being back to 200 or 250 with still that 100 overhealth, that would be a little difficult. Also, that would need to be on a much longer cooldown than any of her other abilities, and shouldn't be recharged on an expedited level by that magic slash ability that also recharges her stepping discs and abilities in her kit. This would need to be probably on a 20 to 25 second cooldown, so you need to be using it in absolute break glass in case of emergency type situations. But what do you think? Is there a different change that you would like to see made to Magik, or a different ability that you would like to have incorporated in her kit?
I'd be very interested in hearing what you have to say and reading through those comments on what adjustments you might like to see. And as always, we'll be back with another duelist tomorrow.